Part 3, After the Crisis, Evaluation. After the crisis is over and communication with the media has ended, take a deep breath. But do not just sit back and do nothing. This is the best time to review and evaluate how you handled your communications during the crisis. Scott Wallin, Director of Producer Communications with Dairy Management Incorporated, has some advice to share with us. Here's a quote from Scott. The Florida dairy industry has a comprehensive crisis communications plan in place that deals with most every conceivable emergency. We practice real-life scenarios to get a feel for how we would react and think during an actual crisis. Scott's suggestion is one of the recommendations in Part 3 of our Crisis Communication Plan Checklist, Evaluation After the Crisis. Your plan should include the following. First, a review of why the crisis occurred. Could you have done anything to prevent it? Next, an evaluation of how the crisis was handled. What would you do differently next time? And finally, an examination of similar scenarios. What would you do in a similar situation in the future? What did others do in a similar situation? These are the 3 key steps to Part 3 of our Crisis Communications Plan checklist. Alrighty, we've relayed quite a bit of information in this crisis communications tool. Let's take a minute to review. As we review, consider identifying and writing down 3 things you plan to do to ensure that your organization or agency will be prepared to effectively communicate if and when a crisis strikes. A couple of examples of things that you could write down could be sharing this tool with a coworker to increase awareness, reviewing your organization or agency's crisis communications plan, or if you don't have one, initiating a conversation with organizational leadership about developing a crisis communication plan. Other examples include organizing a what-if brainstorming session with others to consider different scenarios about potential crisis situations. Or you could share the crisis communications plan checklist at your next meeting.